The brutal 1955 lynching of Emmett Till in Mississippi conjures up a lot of images. The grocery store in the town of Money, where 14-year-old Emmett allegedly whistled at a white woman. The funeral home back in Chicago, where his mother's decision to hold an open casket funeral so the world could see what monsters did in murdering her son shocked the conscience of the nation and sparked the civil rights movement. But an important new book on the Till murder shifts our gaze to a forgotten and more harrowing building, the barn, where J.W. Milam and Roy Bryant murdered Emmett in cold blood. In The Barn, The Secret History of a Murder in Mississippi, author Wright Thompson writes, quote, "The barn where Till was murdered was just some guy's barn, full of decorative Christmas angels and duck hunting gear, sitting there in Sunflower County without a marker or any sort of memorial, hiding in plain sight, haunting the land." Joining me now is Wright Thompson, author of The Barn, The Secret History of a Murder in Mississippi, which hits bookstores on Tuesday. Wright, it is great to see you again. Congratulations on the book. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much.
What I loved about that quote was the line, hiding in plain sight. Talk about why the barn's hiding in plain sight moved you to write this book.
You know, we think of the Emmett Till murder as one of the most famous murders in American history, up there with Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. And when you start researching it, though, you're sort of stunned by the sheer tonnage of not only how much isn't known still, but how much has been erased. And so the fact that the barn was sitting there hiding in plain sight, it felt to me that in there lay not only the secrets of this murder, but of, you know, the history of our whole country, frankly.
You know, and that jumped out at me because I remember, you know, we met when I went down to Mississippi to interview Secretary Deb Haaland when she was there as part of the site visits that then led to the Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley National Monument. But there I was in this, what I thought was the grocery store, this sort of refurbished place. And then someone said, no, it's actually over there. And it was completely dilapidated, overgrown with trees and weeds and things. It seems to be that hiding in plain sight is the way things seem to be done down there.
Well, you know, you have the barn that's hiding in plain sight. You have that store that's hiding in plain sight. You know, much of the history we know about this comes from a journalist, William Bradford Huey, who wrote a history that was essentially written by the defense attorneys of the murderers. And it's still quoted. I mean, when Secretary Haaland went down there, you know, some of the history she learned was still pulled from that fake account. I mean, the erasure is ongoing. And so one of the things I found in the 4 years I spent researching the past is that this is all still very, very present, and that there are people who are actively fighting that erasure, because it feels to me that, like, the battle for the soul of Mississippi and the South and America, you know, if Malcolm X said everywhere south of Canada is the South, you know, it is between the forces of memory and erasure, and this book is a chronicle of that fight.
And this book is a chronicle of that fight, but this isn't just abstract or removed from it. This is you.
Yeah.
This is you are from Mississippi. You are from this area.
My family farm is 23 miles from the barn. And so one of the things that I grew up understanding instinctively is that even if people lie, the ground tells the truth. And so, you know, one of the main threads of this book is a 1,300-year history of the land around the barn and excavating, you know, frankly, centuries of blood in the dirt.
How much resistance did you receive while you were writing this book?
Well, I guess we'll see on Tuesday.
That's right, because the book comes out on Tuesday, and here it is, right here, The Barn, The Secret History of a Murder in Mississippi. Its author is Wright Thompson. Wright, congratulations on the book. Thank you very much for coming to the Sunday Show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.